My name is Leah Rosenzweig, and I'll be your counselor today. And I just wanted to let you know before we get started that everything that you say here is confidential. The only reasons that confidentiality will be broken is if there's suspected child or elder abuse, if we suspect that you're a harm to yourself or others, or if there's like a court legal mandate. But other than that, what you say in here stays in here. And so I was just wondering, why did you come and see me today?
Well, I've been married. I was married to my husband for 20 years or so, and he recently passed away, and so I'm newly single. Haven't been single in a while, I'm 81, so yeah, and every time I'm home, all I think about is him, and how we used to share this house, and I have been debating if I should move into like a better place for the elderly, someone that's 81 years old, rather than sit here and think about him all the time. But at the same time, I don't want to leave this house. It's so many memories have been built here.
Yeah, how long have you been living there?
For 20 years.
Wow, that is a long time. Yeah. How has his passing been affecting you?
I really miss him, I'm 81, so lived my life with him for the majority of the recent past. So it's hard adjusting. That's why I think it would be nice to move into like an assisted living home. Get some fresh environment around me. But at the same time, I don't know if I want to, get rid of his memory in such a drastic, dramatic way.
Yeah. So basically, you want to stay in the house so that you can just continue living this life that you lived with him for 20 years?
Well, I know that I'm not going to continue living the life with him for 20, that I have been for so long because he's not around anymore. I'm single, ready to mingle, so I don't know if I could bring anyone back to this house. If I were to find someone else I was interested in, I don't know if I could emotionally and almost out of guilt bring him back to this house, knowing that I've built it out of memories of my past husband.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. What is drawing you to want to move?
Just extra help that, being subsidized for the living costs. I'm torn on if it'll be a good thing or a bad thing for me to, leave the house and the memories behind. Just, the extra care and help that I would receive.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a good trade-off or not.
Yeah, how is your health?
My health it's decent. I have some various chronic but non-terminal issues, but stuff that needs minor monitoring, nothing where I would have to bring in a nurse if I didn't go to an assisted living center. There's no dire medical need for it, but it would sure make things easier.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that would be helpful. Do you have a lot of friends, and are you friends with your neighbors at your current house?
I am friends with my neighbors. They're a bit younger than I am, but it's nice, They definitely are there for the occasional support when I need it, but my neighbors aren't necessarily what are keeping me here. It's more the back and forth on if I'm ready to leave, kind of the anchor that holds me here, my ex-husband or widowed husband.
Yeah. And what about the rest of your family? Do you have children?
I do have children, but they live across the country. So I don't get to see them very often, and they have families of their own, so it's not like they can pick up and come visit me whenever they want, but they're there.
Yeah. Yeah? Do y'all keep in touch a lot?
We do over the phone. You know, I'm into postcards. I don't like all the technological stuff. So I write them postcards. You know, it's more kind of like indirect communication. We have phone calls and stuff, but they always seem to be in a rush to get off. There's not ever like a prolonged period of time where I get to catch up with them.
Yeah.
Once every like 2 years I get to see them.
Yeah. So maybe, is your do you get most of your support like from your friends?
What type of like emotional?
Emotional, mental, all sorts of.
I guess I'm adjusting to not having my husband around.
Yeah.
He used to be my support. My neighbors definitely keep it fresh, and you know, they always make sure that I know that they're there. I'm kind of like set in my habits, set in my old ways, and I don't know if that's what I should be doing at this point in my life.
Yeah. It sounds like you're kind of leaning towards and ready to make some sort of a change.
Yeah. I'm also worried that with the, assisted living, I don't like people like hovering over. I don't like them inserting themselves into my personal life when they're not asked to.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of worried about that. And I've heard these like horror stories of these assisted living situations where you think you're signing up for one thing, but really it's something way more along the lines of like a prison. And like being like confined to your room, and I have a house now. I like my garden. I don't want to have to sit in a gray room all day.
Yeah. What else have you heard about assisted living homes? Have you heard any good things?
Yeah, for sure. But it's hard to focus on the good things when you hear about all the potential bad things that tend to go on unmentioned and kind of turn a blind eye towards.
Yeah. Do you know any friends who've gone into assisted living homes?
Just a few, but the majority of the reason that the majority of them have gone in is for more around the clock medical care, stuff like that. Not solely off of desire and will.
Yeah.
Of course, they wanted to go, but it was a much better option to move into an assisted living home than to stay home and have to pay for all the extra help and have someone come check on them.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. Do assisted living homes, do they have a lot of activities with the other residents, or are you more isolated in the system?
I don't know. I guess it varies, and I don't know what I want. That's the problem. That's why I'm here. I don't know what appeals to me more.
Yeah.
I just I don't want to decide to stay in my house and then in a few weeks or months realize how sad and depressing it is. I would rather move out before that point, but how do I know if I'll reach that point? I don't know. I'm torn with conflict.
Yeah. It sounds like there are a lot of things keeping you there, and then there are a lot of possibilities for the assisted living home, but it's scary moving, especially when you haven't moved in 20 years. It sounds like a very scary decision to have to make.
Yeah, and especially because the ones I'm looking at, my friends that are in assisted living situations, I'm not eligible, if that's what you want to call it, to move in because I don't have any, terminal chronic illness or debilitating chronic illness.
Yeah.
So it would be a different type of assisted living, and I don't know. If I'm going to move into one, I think I would want to at least know that I have some sort of friend in it rather than, I would hate to move in and then I hate everyone there. I hate the nurse, you know, like.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I know that I can't get that feel without moving in.
Yeah. It's hard to know how you're gonna fit into a place that you don't already live in. It's hard to know the dynamics.
Yeah. I don't know. I also keep thinking, I'm like already 81, so do I really want to start over with like building a community for myself?
Yeah.
You know?
But right now your health is good, so you don't need anyone to help take care of you.
I mean, it would be nice, you know. I have to like take my own blood pressure every day. I have to, you know, take. I think it's like 24 vitamins a day.
Yeah.
You know, all the pills for dementia and all that. So, but the pills prevent it, so I don't need that kind of care yet. Yeah, and I know for me, like financial stability isn't a huge issue of mine. But it would be nice to like, you know, save some money on like the like stuff, you know, around the house. So I've paid off the house already, but you know, the bills and all that can't hurt to leave a little extra money behind for the family.
No, that's a very good point. You have more people to think about than just yourself. Yeah. Do you, right now in your home, you said that the residents are mostly younger? Like your neighbors?
Yeah.
Would you like being friends with younger people, or would it?
I do. It makes me
nice
feel like I'm not going senile.
Yeah.
You know, but there is definitely an element of, you know, almost like pity, I feel, that comes from them. Not pity, you know, over, you know, just being overly, I guess, present for me. And I appreciate it. It's just living in a place where everyone's on the same page as me, or on a little less of like a spectrum, or a little more of like deterioration, I guess, of their health.
Mm-hmm.
That might, I don't know, that might take away that feeling of feeling like I'm the neighborhood grandma. But, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it's nice for me just to feel like a lot of people are in the same place as I am. They're in a similar situation, going through similar life transitions.
I guess when I think about like what the major thing holding me back from moving in is, you know, I'm not done with like my romantic life just because I'm 81 and my husband just died, you know. Like I said, I'm 81 and my husband just died, so if I'm gonna get on having a romantic relationship with someone, it has to be soon. And then I think about how could I ever bring someone, regardless of their age, back to an assisted living center, you know?
Yeah.
Not that I'm planning on just bringing someone back, but, you know, there's something a little more, I guess, appealing about someone who's independent, especially if the man is going to be younger.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want him to feel overwhelmed by my age.
Yeah. You value your independence. You like having your own home that you're in full control of. Yeah. But in these assisted living facilities, do you think that might be a good place to meet a guy, maybe?
I guess, yeah. But the problem is I don't know if I can handle, you know, falling for someone again, or even just slightly, and then, you know, having them leave me the same way my husband did.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm not looking for such a younger man. I'm not really looking for a man at all. I'm just, you know, there's not an appealing situation where that's appealing from all aspects to me, and I don't know how to sort what's my priority and what's not.
Yeah. Yeah, in making these decisions, there's so many things that you even have to look at. It's hard to decide, like, what makes you want to live in one place versus another? What are the drawbacks? What are the positive
When I think
things?
about the assisted living, I think about how I wouldn't have to, cook my own meals. I wouldn't, potentially, I guess, depending where I would live, but my medication would be brought to me. I wouldn't have to go pick it up,
Yeah.
all of that. And at some point, I'm wondering, is this how it is supposed to be? Is it supposed to be I grow old and move into a home and leave society? I feel like that's what I'm doing. But on the other hand, I would love to move into a home where it just takes away all the little chores that I've been doing for so long that are embedded in me. I would love to know what it feels like to not do that.
Yeah. What are some other benefits for an assisted living home? So far we've talked about possibly another community, a new community of people going through similar life transitions. The fact that someone would give you your medicine and you don't have to do all the same chores you did. What else is there?
What keeps appealing to me is the 24-hour, availability. If I, a few weeks ago, I got a stomach virus and I, was dealing with that on my own. I did, in between episodes, I did get my own water, and that was really rough. That was probably, my body doesn't hold up the way it used to when I was younger, and I guess thinking practically, those types of events aren't going to decrease over time. They're going to increase,
Yeah.
It's neat. It's the way the world is. I'm going to deteriorate from now on. I'm not going at all to improve health-wise or physically. So that's something that I keep in mind. But I don't know if I want to move in almost as a precursor, or if I want to wait till something really happens so that I get as much time as I possibly can as being independent.
Yeah. Yeah, those are all really important things to consider.
I guess I should look into more homes, but I don't really know any.
Have you visited?
A few, the ones my friends live in, with this internet, you can just see them without going. So I've been doing that, but I don't know. I just want to know what you think about from an outsider's perspective, what would be the responsible, appropriate course from here.
Yeah, well, I think that you're considering all the right things. I think you're considering your future generations. I think that you've been considering the fact that you want to keep your independence. You don't want anyone to take that away from you. And I think that you just need to think about where you will be the happiest. Because yes, your age is always going to keep growing, but you just need to focus on how you feel and where you will feel the happiest. If your neighbors in the community that you're in are already very happy, is it worth it to go to another community? But then again, that new community it does have a lot of benefits, and it could potentially bring you more happiness.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess right now I'll stay in my home and just there's no point in rushing it. I don't think I'm ready to leave the home that we built behind yet. And I can't imagine regretting it. I feel like I would feel almost like I abandoned him. And everything that I just mentioned before, this trumps all that, making sure that I honor him. And then what's more important, honoring him or my own well-being? But maybe honoring him is what my well-being depends on. Yeah, I don't know.
What things do you like to do that make you happy?
Garden.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like being outside. I have
Yeah.
a dog. So I like being outside with her, and I don't know, I just being by myself lately has felt like a lot of closure to his passing.
Yeah. Are you religious?
I'm spiritual. I wouldn't claim any religion as mine. Just, I've seen a lot in the world over the past 81 years. So I've gone from being anti-religion to fully immersed in religion, and I found that the best thing for me is to just live and take in what I take in, and what I don't worry about.
Yeah, that's a good philosophy. Yeah. I was just thinking about some of the things that I do where I like to see my friends, and so I was wondering where you like to see your friends. Do y'all get together often?
Yeah, I have a friend of mine, we go grocery shopping together because, with our minds we always forget things, so it's nice to have two minds kind of keeping track. We do that. Sometimes they come over and I cook something from my garden, or I pot some flowers that I've picked, and little things like that. They're casual interactions, or nothing too planned. Every now and then there's a movie out that we go to, but I'm adjusting to doing things I used to do with my husband to now doing with my friends.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a hard change to make. It's really hard when you lose someone who is such a big part of your life. Have you seen this loss affecting your life in any other ways?
Well, his passing was expected. It wasn't sudden. I had tempered repair. So I guess adjusting's hard. By all means, it's hard. But it was nice being able to speak with him ahead of time about what he wanted from me.
Yeah.
So I tried to honor that, but sometimes what he wants is not something I can emotionally handle yet, and he told me to move out of the house. He told me to not dwell on him. But, as much as I want to respect his wish, but I can't.
Yeah. It's easier said than done. And you don't want to forget. You want to keep the memory alive. It was a good time.
Yeah, and if I do move into an assisted home, do I bring pictures of him? Of course I'll bring a few, but do I bring our marriage certificate that's hanging? Do I bring, I just don't know. I guess I can't know those things yet.
Yeah. They're all just decisions that you're going to have to make and see, would seeing pictures of him and seeing your marriage license hanging somewhere, would that make you happier? Or would that make you more sad, bringing it all to life?
I feel like it would make me happy when I was alone, but when I was with people, I developed feelings for someone else.
Yeah.
I don't know how I would feel. And that scares me. I don't know anything.
Yeah. Do you keep them up right now in your home?
Yeah, I haven't done anything. Our voicemail still has them on it. And, he left me the will in the house. The house and the will. But I haven't transferred the name yet because, there's something about this being